So remember when we were like, you know, in our teenage years and in our 20s, like you'd go to the gym, you'd do like bench press and, you know, you flex in the mirror and stuff like that, right? And then, you know, maybe you work on legs so you could like dunk a basketball. When you get to be 35, you don't care about any of that stuff anymore,
not really.
right? You got a kid, right? You got married, you got responsibilities. Like you kind of start running out of reasons to go to the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's actually harder, right? Like you've got a job, you have all this stuff. It's harder to find the time. Like when you're 25, you probably, you know, have all the time in the world to go to the gym.
Yeah, that's right.
You
go
for
go
3
before,
hours.
yeah, go before work, after work, whatever. So you know, there's usually 3 reasons that people go to the gym. They are that they want to improve the way they look, the way they feel, or the way they perform. Right. And so, you know, if your goal is to lose weight, then you know you're improving the way you look, or get a 6-pack or whatever. A lot of times people want to perform, right? They want to be able to do push-ups, you know, rope climbs, or maybe do a, you know, bench press, or be able to run longer, whatever. Once you start to get to that sort of 35 and up, it becomes more about how you feel, right? So why do you go to the gym?
So one of the big reasons is energy, right? So like I feel like I just more energetic. Like I don't get like those kind of sleep comas like later in the day, and like I just kind of, my energy level stays up that during the day, and like even, you know, the next day.
We had a meeting earlier today and you were falling asleep.
Yeah.
Did you?
Hadn't worked out yet.
Yeah. So generally having energy is good.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. Like it's sort of like the days that you go to the gym, you have more energy, and it's kind of opposite from what you would think. Right?
Yeah.
You would think that your energy would be lower because you worked out.
Yep.
But you know, it depends on how hard you go. Your energy increases.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, there's still kind of, to me, there's still a bit of a performance thing, but it's more just like, I know I'm getting older. I know that like things should be getting harder, but I keep pushing myself to see if I can do better at things. Yeah. Right? It's kind of like a mental test, almost like proving to myself that I'm not getting older in a way.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like the gym is where you do it, right? It's like, it's a safer environment to do a lot of that stuff.
Well, to be clear, like 35, 40, 45, that's not necessarily old.
Yeah.
But when you're 20, you think 35 is like super old. But I think, you know, I agree. There are some performance goals because you can actually get stronger, you know, as you get older. And it takes longer for that to go away. You know, a lot of people will hit their personal records in their late 40s. Right? And if you're a runner, for example, like the best endurance runners are usually like late 40s, 50s, you know, when you go to like super long endurance. One of the reasons I like to go is just for the discipline of it. Right? It's like this idea of doing hard things. It's like, oh, I can still lift this crazy weight, or I can still do, you know, XYZ pull-ups or whatever, right? And it's just that discipline of showing up every day and doing things that maybe you couldn't do when you were 20.
Yeah, it's interesting with the discipline thing. For me, there's a bit of like eating discipline that kind of goes along with the gym. Whereas like when I go to the gym, it makes me eat healthier in a way, because I know that if I eat bad, or eat something that's not going to be great for me, I feel like shit at the gym. Right? And like the gym workout suffers, and so they kind of work together for me. And it kind of helps just reinforce like eating better.
Another reason for me, and this is going to sound a little, I'm actually better at work when I go to the gym. Right? If I go in the morning, then I have more. We talked about energy, but I'm just like, I'm sharper when I'm working. And that makes a difference. Like even you know, you can kind of tell if I didn't work out that morning, or if I did, like I'm just a little bit dragging. I have to have an extra cup of coffee or whatever. But my work performance is better if I go, right? And that's something that shifts. Like work performance is like, you know, 25 you can do anything and still have energy, right? At 35, maybe not so much the case.
Now you can't, like, you get older, you can't go out all night and then go to work the next day and be 100%. And the gym helps definitely. Working out in general just helps with that.
I think one of the other reasons, we won't really talk about this, but like you start to get to that age where you're like, you know, longevity is an issue. Right? You're thinking like, okay, I know I'm getting older. How much older am I gonna make it with this current capability? Right? Like, can I, you know, will I still be able to lift weights as I get to a certain age? Will I still be able to, you know, run around with my kids? And like having that sort of capability as you get older, I think is a huge reason why you work out at that age.
Like you see like a lot of older, you know, past 35, you get to 45, 55, 65, like a lot of the injuries that cause like long-term illnesses and stuff are happening because they're not capable. They haven't been working out. They can't move properly. They don't have enough muscle mass. And so like, you can survive an accident if you actually are stronger. And like
that's true.
Than not, right?
Yeah.
And so it makes a big difference, just like how long you're gonna live.
Yeah. So the last reason that I think is, it's better to be the fittest 45-year-old, than the least fittest 45. So it might not be about you, flexing your abs on the beach.
Right.
But it's nice to not be the one who's limping or having like major health issues, at 45.
And if you're like kind of the person that doesn't like to ask for help, being more capable yourself is like is the best thing,
That's
right? Like you can lift the box yourself, you can move yourself, all that stuff.
I'm gonna put every luggage into the thing on the airport.
I got it. Don't worry about it. I got this. I don't need your help with this thing.
Yeah.
Leave me alone. So I mean, that definitely great. And one thing you mentioned earlier that was resonated with me was like kids, right? Like I've got some kids, you've got kids. A lot of folks get to this age, you've got kids, and like
you've got some kids.
Yeah, they get faster.
Yeah, and yes, they do. As they get older, it's harder to keep up with them.
And you got to get faster, or you got to at least not slow down enough so you can keep up with them and have fun with them, play, and chase after them if they decide to take off down the street.
Yeah, exactly. And as your kids get older and they start talking back more, like you still want to be like, the dad that they respect, not the one that they can just walk 3 steps away and you can't get up to chase them, right? Yeah. So I think the point here is when you get to be 35 and older, you start to come up with different reasons to go to the gym.
Yeah.
And I think it's actually important to not just do what you've always done, but to really recognize that things are shifting and changing, and change your motivation as you go.
Yeah.
Right? It doesn't have to change completely, but it'll actually kind of recommit you to it if you start thinking about like, oh, this actually gives me energy. Oh, this is going to help me be more capable as I get older. Oh, I can keep up with my kids, rather than hey, I'm going to bench 300 pounds. Right. So yeah. So that's all we got today. If you like this video, go ahead and hit the like button, and we'll see you in the next one.